So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And I should say Happy New Year, because this is still the second day of the Year of Tiger. I think the pandemic had held a pause to many things. You cannot travel freely as before, and the challenge you deal with this pandemic is going to continue for quite a while. But there is one thing for sure, however, it's being accelerated during the pandemic, is digitalization. That brings to my subject today, dive into digital. And from Huawei Cloud, we do believe a concept of everything as a service. According to research, by 2025, the economic of digitalization will be over 23 trillion US dollar. And the key of this economic will be the modern infrastructure. Here I list some of the key factors of the economic in digitalization. So by 2020, still today we have less than 10% of data application. And by 2023, we focusing 8% of application will run natively on cloud. And the other pillar is artificial intelligence. By 2025, we believe more than 80% of enterprise will adopt AI technology. Now, the key of the fundamental question is that how to build a modern infrastructure to support our future in terms of digitalization, which we believe there are four key factors. One is ubiquitous new infrastructure that allows us have to adapt new requirement and a quite dynamic environment and agile to the changes. And the second is innovation to full stack technology. And the third one is the digital collaboration cross industry. And lastly is the inclusive digital service to individual. We believe in the future, the digital service for each individual in the society will enhance to another level. But the digitalization varies from industry sector to sector. The pioneer, I could list the class 1 and the class 2 here for telco, finance, media. So those companies was taking a pioneer role into digitalization. They have get benefit from the technology. And unlike those verticals, there are some other verticals like agriculture, mining, they are still lack of the skill set into embrace new technology in digitalization. And we believe the effort or the skill set company can embrace new digitalization technology will impact on their performance into their business. Over from 2018 to 2020, so the business of those companies who is better leveraging digitalization has 5 times better performance than the top percentage group. And going forward, this gap will be widened, and we can focus the revenue of those companies who is embracing digitalization technology will be 6 times than the rest of who is not. And as Huawei Cloud, we want to find a platform and whose technology can enable our customer to really leap from the yellow curve to the red curve. And here we introduce our strategy as everything as a service, from infrastructure to technology to expertise. So we are committed to invest to build a global infrastructure with very strong connectivity to a unified architecture. We built a sustainable, growing infrastructure based on our Shintan Architecture, which innovatively to have this workload from different scenarios to run different infrastructure, all the way from a central cloud to a regional cloud to a dedicated environment for specific workload, or even edge environment. And we have built a robust network connecting all the global regions. And secondly is technology as a service for flexible innovation. Probably you know Huawei is one of the companies who have invested most in the world. Last year, I think 2020, we spent around 21 billion US dollar in R&D. And so those heavily investment eventually return back as a root technology. Our strategy is that to offer that service through our platform. We firmly believe both technically or commercially, cloud service will be the best option to offer those technology to our customer. And lastly, we have a concept called expertise as a service for sharing excellence. So the gap between real digitalization and the reality came as the challenge facing in different verticals or different business scenario. But we do believe there is no need to reinvent the wheel. The challenge today, the Shanghai port is facing into digitalizing their business is probably have the same challenge here in the Jeddah port. And the Riyadh airport will have the same challenge, how to increase the efficiency of scheduling flights. That is the same challenge Shenzhen airport is facing. With our global presence and heavily investment and our ecosystem partner, we want to bring that industry know-how into our cloud platform to offer as a service, where we will introduce macro worth as an application path platform. So one infrastructure, one experience. We have already, as Huawei Cloud, deployed more than 27 regions, and we operating in more than 170 countries and regions. Today, Huawei Cloud is offering 200 plus servers. In this region, we have our Abu Dhabi region available already. And yesterday, our rotating chairman already made an announcement that the Saudi region will come soon, very quickly. So with that is the enhanced coverage of our cloud service reach, and so our customer and the partner can easily reach the market around the global. And in the not only the data center coverage, but also we have built a very robust networking, especially for video and audio. We developed Spark RTC to coverage more than 170 countries within latency 200 milliseconds. You know, as a human being, the latency to react is around 280 milliseconds. So within 200 milliseconds, you can really have the real experience as you are in real environment when you're interacting visually or audibly. And also Huawei have been investing into video, audio transcoding, transmitting technology since 30 years. So we also using our technology to ensure the reliability more than 4 nines. And here I want to share one example. This wireless is a famous wireless in China, Mr. Lin. Here, and her fellow musicians have played a song together, but in different cities globally. They are in Beijing, Shanghai, in Frankfurt, in London, in Paris. And through they're connected with our Huawei Cloud Conference software, transmitting by Spark RTC. You can barely feel the latency, almost the same as real time they are playing together. So Lastly, on the infrastructure, I want to mention what we believe a new paradigm of cloud infrastructure, which I have mentioned that to let the workload run on the most suitable work environment, which is from the central region to dedicated region to the edge side. And they are run on a unified cloud OS, which developed by Huawei called Shintan Architecture. Now, as technology as a service for flexible innovation, I think Huawei is dedicated to break through the technology boundary of human being in ICT. I do believe very few companies in the world can really break through the boundary. Huawei is committed to all the ICT technology in the last 30 years, and will keep continuing doing that. So-called root technology in containerize our application in artificial intelligence. In fact, I think Huawei is also few of company who is really capable to provide full stack all the way from chipset to AI framework to AI platform to application and all scenario AI solution. And also we are very actively to participating in open source community that is make sure our solution has the competitive with the most of mainstream solution. And Huawei is #1 committed code in Asia for CNCF and etc. Here I want to share one of the case that I believe is a truly digitalization. So through one of the benefits of digitalization is that you can actually abstract a complex business problem into a technology mathematical problem. And innovatively, we have introduced the Opera's AI solver, putting OR, operation research, and AI, artificial intelligence together to develop to have an optimization for our complex business requirement. So Tianjin port is one of the biggest ports in the world, and the annual throughput is around 400 million tons, and they freight to around 200 countries from global. Now they have facing one challenge, that to make a schedule of the plan of the port production system. By human doing that, it costs a very experienced engineer to make a plan more than 24 hours. Now, when we put all the that variables, the tens of millions variables together, and using optical AI solver can improve to making a 10 minutes plan, and that is easier to adapt to any change. You know, if you are making by human, any change making of this plan unusable anymore. You have to do another round again. Technology today is making those available to the industry. I think this is a true digitalization, and I think we can definitely leverage those experience from specific industry to all the relevant customer. And that brings us to Macroverse APaaS, which we refer to expertise as a service. The industry know-how, the challenge we're facing with Tianjin port, I think they can apply to many ports globally. And the healthcare sector, the automobile, the finance, all those verticals we have worked out. I think we can bring those services as available to Macroverse a platform to offer to a global customer. Now, and we do believe building a rich ecosystem for joint innovation and shared success is the key of Huawei cloud business. If you really think about where is the gap of today digitalization, I think mainly in two gaps. One is the skill set that today we're facing the challenge, how to use cloud technology, how to use the latest technology. And the second is the application which is in a specific domain or specific area, those software company is not born from cloud, and also themselves need to go to cloud. Here, I think we heavily relied on our partner, and we engage our partner to build a shared success story. We have 2 tracks of consulting partner and technology partner. From consulting partner, we want to introduce more and more partners who can join us and overcome the challenge of the time set, skill set, and also the technology partner. So we announced a OSIS program in Middle East, which is around $15 million to spend on our ecosystem, and that, I do believe that is the key for our technical success. Over the 20 years, Huawei have reshaped the Saudi connectivity business, and I do believe the following 20 years, cloud will play a profound role in our business in Saudi. Thank you.